Okay, right, we ready then? Right, basically what Matt's come to do is talk about his section of the Kings Lynn Football Community Programme, specifically what he does, okay? As opposed to what the other side of stuff, what Dan works with, okay? Which you'll be able to look at that video as well. Okay, we'll do it, I'll ask questions, Matt will answer, then if you guys have got any questions, please chip in as you go along. Have you all got your phones ready to record or whatever you want to do? Okay? Cool, good stuff. Right, Matt, first question then, mate, is basically what's the main type of media that you use for your different groups? Yeah, you know whether it's social or whatever.
Yeah, so probably social media takes a big chunk of our marketing. It's quite a powerful tool, if you like, because obviously so many people have Facebook, Twitter. We tend to tap into that. A lot of it's free, obviously. You can post on Facebook, Twitter for free. But also on Facebook, we use paid promotions as well. So we pay for adverts on Facebook too. We also go down other routes as well. So we use newspapers, potentially radio as well. We've looked into that before as well, but mainly sort of Facebook and Twitter really for my sessions.
What is your target audience?
Yeah, so I've got a target adults, so that's age 14 plus. So we don't really look at children, so that's my section. So I'm looking at trying to get adults participating in sport. So, like I say, Facebook and Twitter. Most adults have got social media, mainly Facebook. So that's how we tend to go down that route, really. Also, for the older generation, we don't tend to have Facebook and Twitter. We also use things like newspapers, like your local paper as well. So we try and tap into different sections, if you like, depending on their age and depending on their interests.
The messages that you put on social media, what are they just written or are they video or visual or what?
Yeah, I mean, when we pay for adverts, we tend not to try and put too much text in there because we think when you flick through your news feed, if it's too wordy, people just skip by it.
Yeah.
So we try and put a photo with maybe a little bit of writing. We've looked into doing a video as well because I think that's probably quite powerful as well, video. So we try and keep it short and snappy for the adverts, and then when they click on it, they can get more detail. So it might be in an event, it might be a photo or something like that.
Yeah. So there's a link to it.
So there's a link to like a main page for like.
Yeah. Is there any particular sort of advertising message that you have? Do you have a lot of hashtag or what? Or
no hashtags. We try and find little quirky words. So it might be something like how we brand the sessions, if you like. So some of our fitness sessions, we've got like fit in 30 minutes or something like that, or 30-minute workouts, or we've got a beginner's boot camp. We just try and make it sort of short and snappy. No hashtags as such. That's how we do it.
Have you had any training from them on how to use this, or is it just something that you knew?
No, it's basically it's on my own back. So you've got to be quite creative in my role.
Yeah.
How to promote it. So that's probably one of the main traits of someone in my role. If you like, I've got to be quite creative how I try and connect with people.
Yeah.
And get out to them.
Okay. Do you have a yearly plan, or is it just per event? Depending on what happens, is it set out? Like, do you know throughout the year what you're going to do, sort of thing, with regards to marketing?
Not really. We get given a budget to spend per 6 months on marketing.
Yeah.
And within that, it's quite flexible. So at the minute, because it's January, we had a big push on our fitness stuff. Because typically people buy into that New Year, New You stuff. So we've spent quite a lot in January on fitness advertising, but I mean that's quite flexible as the year goes on. What we spend it on and when, depending on what needs it. Some sessions might not need it, so we'll see.
So it tends to be a case of if you've got a new session coming on, you'll advertise it. If you haven't,
but yeah. Or if numbers are low on a certain session, we can spend a bit on advertising that one as well.
Okay. So do you do any like taster sessions or open days or anything like that, or freebies or?
Yeah, we've done quite a few taster sessions in the past. We've also got offers like at the minute as a fitness session you can go for £1 in January. So January just £1 a session.
Yeah.
we try and do little things like that so it gets people there, and hopefully if they enjoy it, once the money goes up a little bit, they'll keep going.
Okay.
So that's how we try and do it.
Good. And do you know what your, this is quite difficult really I suppose, but like what your competitors are doing? Do you analyse what they're doing and how much they charge? And
Yeah, so that's really important. Our organisation's funded by Sports England, so it's not quite as reliant on income as such. But the idea is that the sessions become sustainable after my project finishes. But of course, look at competitors and look at how they price their sessions, how they market their sessions, how they advertise. That's really important. So we try and take things from what they're finding there. So Motivate's a really good one at the minute. Motivate at Kings Lynn, they're really popular. So we try and we see them as a competitor, if you like. So we see what they do well, what can we sort of do slightly different to them, or things like that really. So it is really important that we look at competitors.
so are you looking at things to do things differently than them, or
Different, yeah, because I think the model they've got is they're really good at it. So we try and aim for a slightly different market, really. Maybe slightly cheaper than them. Probably more of an entry level to them. So our workout's probably slightly easier than some of theirs. Some of theirs are quite tough. They have different levels, but a lot of their workouts are quite tough. So we try and aim a little bit different to them.
Okay.
Because they've got quite a strong model established.
So do you give any discounts for other? You said about the pound in January, so that would then just go back up to full price then.
Yeah.
It's not like any discounts for like doing, say for example, if you had your fitness classes, your boot camps.
Yeah.
If you book 10, would you get them slightly cheaper if you booked in advance?
It varies from session to session, so there's loads of different offers and stuff. A couple of sessions run. There's 3 sessions run by a certain person called Jake, and they're based in Terrington. And what he does is they're £3.50 a session, or if you book 3, I think it's like you save £1 or something like that. So there's various sort of. Also, we've done things like if you bring a friend, you can get a free class.
Yeah.
So really, it's just trying to be creative and see what works with that particular group.
Okay. So, would you look at perhaps in the future? Would you like want to have, like they have here? They have like the membership cards and stuff like that. Could you foresee anything like that happening, or?
We've looked at that. That's quite a lot of work to get it established. And the thing that we think is quite unique, most places have got, they're in a contract or they have to pay a monthly fee, whereas the good thing about us is literally you can turn up and pay on the spot. So we see it as a good thing, but also, I mean, once the funding's gone, it's reliant on people turning up.
Yeah.
So, whereas if you get people into a contract or pay a monthly fee, the money's guaranteed.
Yeah.
I spoke to someone at Sports Direct a month ago, and I think only 10% of people have actually signed up to go there and paying actually turn up a week. So there's a lot of money they're making, but people don't even turn up.
Yeah.
And that disadvantage we've got is we're relying on people turning up.
Yeah.
So that is something that we potentially could look at in the future.
Yeah. So with regards to your funding, so once the funding stops, it's got to run itself basically.
Yeah, so it's got to make its own money. So at the minute we can afford to lose money because we've got a certain amount of funding. So the 3 years basically trying to get as many activities established and in a position where they can carry on once the funding's gone.
Are you set within that budget about how much per activity you're allowed to spend on advertising?
Not per activity. There's different pots of money for different things. So, for example, we've got £1,500 to spend on advertising for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then there's like probably £6,000, I guess, for coaches.
Yeah.
So you get guidelines for different pots, but not different activities.
Yeah.
So you can spend on whatever activity you want, really.
Okay. And this is yours as the ACT?
Activating communities.
Yeah, activating communities. Okay. Right. Anybody got any questions? Because that's covered all the criteria you need.
Team, activating communities team.
Okay, Matt's role, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on this, it's kind of like it's
kind of similar to Sarah's in a way. It's kind of like sports
Yeah.
development, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like activity development. So it's all about getting people active and doing stuff and then building from there. Obviously, some of you guys see him in a more formal role of coaching and that because you're involved with the football or whatever, or may have kicked him on a Saturday afternoon perhaps. Anybody got any other questions? I think I've pretty much covered everything we need to know. Any questions about what you're thinking about? What you guys are thinking about doing? Are you all thinking about going social media way of advertising? Okay, I mean, what's the best response you got from the social media camp? What did you do? Was it video or pictures or what got the best?
The very first Facebook advert we did was, I made a mistake really. I put loads of word in it, no photos, didn't get a very good response. And then I thought about that, and the next one, I put a photo, and then probably 2 sentences.
Yeah.
And like quite a quirky sentence, like so, like a 30-minute fit in 30 minutes, something like that. And that had a really good response.
Yeah.
It's quite reasonable as well. Facebook advertising, it's quite reasonable. You can, I think it says you can hit like 5,000 people with £20. So it can come in 5,000 people's timelines.
Yeah,
It's
and this
20 quid.
This is what will come down on the side of the page, sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it can be like,
Interesting.
quite cost effective. Compare that to, we looked at the radio, Cal FM, charge ridiculous amounts, and to be honest, I don't think it's worth it. So we've gone down the Facebook route, and that's been probably quite effective for what we've done.
If you pay more, does it reach more people's timelines?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you can set a budget. So if you can stick like £1,000 on, and that would, I don't know how many people that would cover, but a lot of people. You can also edit who that targets. So you could say, for example, you can change the settings to it hits 14, 30-year-olds if you want to, who live in Kings Lynn. So you can change the settings as well. So it's quite a good way of doing it.
That's good. Any more questions? So some ideas for yourselves, or I think we've pretty much covered it. Yeah, happy? I'll take that as a yes. Okay. Cheers, Matt. Thanks for that, mate. He is available.